Welcome, everyone. I'm going to give a quick demonstration. The easiest way to do that is probably to use Zoom. So we'll have a video within the Zoom meeting that you can watch. The first thing I'd like to talk to you a little bit about, and we'll share the screen to do this, is how to get the database. And you may have your own databases, but you do need to be able to compare those times with the top 50 databases. So I'm going to share the screen here, and we're going to jump right to the coaches website database. And you can see that that's here, coaches.com. What we'd like you to do is then, or what you can do is a couple of things. Let's go right here to Team Manager Backup. If you click on that, it will bring you up the ability to back that up. And so I'm going to go ahead and save this. And so I'm saving it to my desktop. You need to make note of where you are saving it because it'll be different depending upon how your computer's set up. So I've saved it there, and then drop down and save that to there. So I have that now, and so we will jump out of this. There's a lot of information that Mark or others can go through with you about your teams here on this top 50 database and places to look. But all I'm writing to do is gathering the times and what I will use. And I will do this after all the region meets are in, and the final meets are in. I'll pull the times off, bring it into a Team Manager database, and use that as a way to print off and then compare the entry times with the top 50 database. That's where those are located. So once you've downloaded that, and I'll stop sharing this and we'll go to a different screen now. Once you've downloaded all of that, then you will want to open up your Team Manager database, which I've opened up here for you. And then you would go up here and you would just, now if you've kept your high school program here, please do not overwrite what you've got on your own high school stuff. What you want to do is you want to create a new database to bring this in, and you can do it this way. This would be one way, or you could do it just on your own. But again, it's important that you make the times match up. So what you would do is I would push restore, but before I did that, I would go open a new, and I would create a new database, which would be, let's say, Utah top 50 2022. And I've opened this, and it's going to create this. Now, the problem with doing this is going to make you go through a bunch of stuff. But I think if you just cancel and go out, it's going to say Utah top. You can see that. And now I can go here and I can restore this. And I would go to where I had placed that backup file. Now, one of the things you have to realize, and this is important, Mark is saving these as a 4.0. And so, or a 4 backup system, and you can see that when I changed it to 4, it pops up. If these are different versions, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, it won't show up with any of those but a 4. So click it on 4. That way, anyone that's using any of those can get it. You can restore it if you're an 8, using the 8 version, and it's a 4 version, but you can't go the other way. So you can't bring an 8 down to a 4. So I'm going to click on this, which is the one I just saved, and then I'll say open, and I will say it's high school 2022. I'm okay with that. And I'm going to go okay. It's unzipping it, and then I want to convert it, and it'll convert it up to this next meeting. Can you see how that works? You say okay, and it's telling me that this already exists because I've already done it before, and I'm going to say no, but you won't have that question there. And so then it's there. And so it's brought it up. Okay. So now this is Orem High School thing. So now if I go here, once I have this all set up, you can see here's all the meets that are located in here. So, and you'll need to go into and create a meet like you've done in anything else that you've ever done. And so you're going to go add, and then this particular meet, and it's going to give you a bunch of stuff. And I'm going to put collect entries. We just want to collect entries offline. Select the eligible team. You're going to put your team, and I'm going to go down here. And since I was an Orem Tiger at one time, I'm going to put Orem as the team, and I'm going to put save. And let's see. So here's the meet name. We're going to stay 5A state. BYU, these things are all required. Provo. And so it's kind of something you have to just work through. I think it's 84604. But that really probably doesn't matter as much. It's going to be a yard course. The starting date of the meet in this particular case, because it is the 5A meet, it's going to be on the 18th. And the ending date of the meet will be on the 19th. The entry deadlines for this particular one is going to be on the 8th, whereas the 3As are there. This is going to be a high school meet. You can put the altitude in if you want, and you can say save. Okay, so now it's created the meet here, which is wonderful. Now what you have to do is you need to put in the events. Okay, so the next step would be putting in the events for this meet. Again, most of you've done this 100 times because you can copy them over from another meet. There's all kinds of different ways to do it. But we're just going to go ahead and say we're going to add the events. And these are going to first with relays. We're going to alternate male and female. You just have that listed. This is all open, 200 method relay. And this really doesn't take a super long time. And so then you'll change this to open 200 free. And then you got open 200 IM. Open 50 free. Open 100 fly. Open 100 free. 500 free. Now you got to go up here and change this to relay. Open 200 free. You click me twice, remember, because you're going to put this in. Remember, we'll change that back to individual. Open 100 back. As you click it twice to put in boys and girls. Open 100 breast. And then you go open again, relay. 400 free. Okay, and cancel, and you're done. So all the entered events have been entered into this meet, and that's what you needed to do. So that there, you want to go back and check. You got 2 relays, bunch of individuals, 2 relays, and you're alternating boys, girls, 22 events. All that kind of matches up, and we're all happy with that. Okay. Okay, and so, all right. So now, at this point, we need to make entries into this meet. We have it set up, we have the events put in, we want to make entries. Now, you can do this in several ways. Oh, there's a couple things that you may want to help you with this to set this up that we probably should do here. Let's see, close. I think you can entry fees. We don't have, here's some eligibility rules. You want to do this. Maximum, minimum age element there. Let's see. So entry fees, I think there was a place, maybe not. And some of you may be able to tell me, but I think there's a place that you can set up the meets so that only so many events, the kids can only enter so many events in the meet. So, but let's go to entries, and we're gonna enter, under max entries, here's where you put it, sorry. So you put maximum individual entries 2, maximum relay entries would be 3. If be the way we're gonna set up, combined would be 4. And you're gonna say, okay, and that's gonna help you when you go to put entries in. And then, so you can do it by browsing, you can do it by the name of the swimmer, you can do it by event. Whatever you choose, and again, you've done this 100 times in different ways, but let's go ahead and go by event. By event, a couple of things you have to remember to do. First of all, you need to put the team that you're entering this for, okay? And you have to remember to do that, and they're going to have all the teams in the state on here, so you need to go find yours, and you need to come down here and place, again, your team here. And what that will do is now just bring up the kids that are on Orm's team. You're here at the first event, the relay. I'm going to click new relay, and it's going to go and find the best time in the database and place that there. Then I'm going to choose 8 swimmers to go into this relay. And let's say we just really quickly pick 8, and I don't know the team at all. And so I'm going to just throw some names up there. And here's my 8 swimmers, and I put them in the relays. Notice that Rachel, anyway, so Rachel doesn't have an age, a class with her, and it'd be important to go back and make sure that all of these have their classes in school. Now, you can enter 8 up to 8 swimmers. This is where you're going to put those all in. So I'm going to add these, and realizing now I have 8 swimmers in here, they're in the relay. Simply go to the next event. I'll add a new relay. So now I'm looking at the boys, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab 4 boys, and then 4 more. And this got my 8 swimmers. Notice that what it does here is it puts relay entries, that's what RE, and cumulative entries, and then individual entries. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the individual events. And if I had this done up, I'd have a spreadsheet, and I would already know who I was going to put in. And let's say I'm going to put Leah Larson in this one, and I would click right here and add her to this. And let's say I'm going to place, Olivia Smith right here. I'm going to put McKay, and I'm going to put that. You can now notice that you guys see this, the time of 3:27:17 is probably not going to make it in the meet. Will not make it in the meet. Let's put it that way. But I would make sure that I entered 4 kids in every event across the board all the time. I would never eliminate that, especially when you get some of those that are close. We drop down sometime to the 90th, 95th person to get into the meet because people drop out. And so especially in the 5A meet, I see a lot more of that because everyone swam all the way across the board. And some of the other meets also, but really this is an important thing to realize. Don't limit the kids, because then what'll happen is you'll find out, oh, this kid would have got in, but I didn't put him in because I just didn't think he'd make it. So we put 4 kids in. Notice that when I put it in, it puts individual events over here. It marks it. Notice he has now an individual event, a relay event, so cumulatively 2. And as we continue to go through this, let's say I put in, I'm really mad at some of these kids, and so I'm going to make them some. So I go over here, I pick up some IMers, boys. Okay, notice now these 2 have exceeded their individual event entries. All right, and they've got 3 cumulative. Because it's green, it's telling you that those are full. Now, if I go to the next event, let's say I pick We're going to quickly finish this up here. And I go now to this one where I've got two. If I go and I want to put him in the 53, it's going to come up and it's going to warn me that I've exceeded the limit. Okay. And it tells me who. Now I can go back and it won't stop me from entering it, but it'll exceed it. This is a $25 fine. Okay. Any of these kinds of mistakes. So you go back and you want to change it as we go through it. And you can see how that goes through. And if I'm going to, let's say I want to jump to event 15, which is a relay event. Okay. So it's going to bring me up this relay. I'm going to go best time. Now, some of you say, find my best relay. And if you do this, it will go through and it'll take those and it'll find your best 4 kids and it'll stick them in as a relay time. And it makes a custom time. Don't do that because that custom time sometimes gets really hard, locked in, and you can't get rid of it. But if you want to see what your 4 best kids are going to be, go here to this relay report. And it'll bring the report up and it'll tell you here they are and here's their best time. Better. Notice this is 5 seconds faster than what their best time they swam. So if you put Brown, Richards, Garside, and Larson into that meeting. And so if I went here and I went Brown, Richards, Garside, and Larson, awesome. Well, there's my best 4 swimmers that I have it by time. And let's say I want to go put in Tanner, you know, I'm adding, so I'm going to put in my 4, fill my relay up. So there I've got those done. Okay. So if I go back now to this event, it's going to show me that, for example, with Carlos Rodriguez, well, let's see, let's go back to the girls. You can see that we're starting to fill these up and you just keep track of it that way. That's one way of entering them. It works quite well, nicely. And it's very quick, especially if you take some time to be ready, that you have it, you know who you're going to put where, you just go in and click them in. Okay. So we're going to jump out of here. So at this point, now, at this point, I've got my entries done. Let's say I've gone through them, I put them all in. We're not going to go through all of that with you. But now I'm going to go here and I'm going to go put on this button here, export entries. So I'll push export entries. I'm going to make sure that the meat I want is right there. So this is the, and it's only showing that because it's the only meat I've set up to do that with. All the rest of the meats of these results that have come in. And I'm going to say, okay, notice where it's putting it. It's in CTM data 5. So on the C drive in this folder, I'm going to say, okay. And then it'll export those entries out. Okay. And close that, and that's all done. Now I'm going to, I want to go to that file. So I'll go here to Z, and I'll go to TM5, remember, and here are the entries. I've done it twice. One I did early this morning in preparation, and here's one again. This is the file I'm going to email to, you'll email to me. Just attach that file to an email, send it in. I will say that I've gotten it. I'll respond real quickly that way. Then when I get all of them in, I'll start opening them. And if there's a problem, I'll get back to you with them. But that's the file that I need to have you send to me. Okay. And then we'll upload it into it. I wanted to make sure I went through that process, and a couple of things, let's see, that I think would be important. Remember just a few things in making your entries. You can have no more than 4 in an individual event. You only can enter 1 relay, not 2 or 3, just 1. And that in your relay entries, please include all 8 names that you want to send to that meet. Those are the only names you can use in swimming the relay. It's different than what we've done in years past. In fact, we're going back and following the National Federation rules and USS rules more along with relay entries than we've done in the past because of our facilities and what we have. Please double check the times. They must match the top 50 database. One of the things, and I'll go back to sharing the screen with you, is that you can do is that when you're done with this, you would probably want to go to your reports, and you go to meet reports, and you go to meet entries, okay? And you can do it by a spreadsheet, or you can do it by just like this. I'm going to create this report, and it's going to show me the names of the kids that I've entered into this meet so far. Can you see that? I would verify that these times match the times of the top 50 database. Now, I know these will because they're in the top 50 database, and that's where I've come across. The only time you would have a problem with this is if you are pulling your own database and bringing the times across. One of the things that I've learned in the past with all of this, in the years of doing this, is at times you will have conversion times from short course meters to yards being a little bit different depending upon the team manager and how it's set up. When I see those that are like, we're talking about 100th, 200ths difference, when I see that, I'll look to see where the meat was swam. And if it was swam in a meter pool, then I go with it well, or I change it to the top 50 database so that it always matches there, but I don't find you because that's really not anything that you could have done. But any other times, anything that's off, even off a 10th or a 100th, you're going to be fined for those. If you enter more than 4 kids in an individual event, you're going to be fined $25 for each one that's over that. So let's say you send in 8, well, that's $100 you just got fined because you sent in 4 more than you were supposed to. If you send in 2 relays, you're going to get fined the $25 for that. Okay, so please keep that in mind. And those fines do come from the high school activities, and they come to your school. Recognize also none of it goes back to me. So what I found in the years of doing this, that prior to us doing fines, we would have massive amounts of mistakes. Once we started finding, those mistakes went away, and there's just a few. So please make sure that you're just careful with what you're doing. When you email me the file, please make sure you include 3 coaches' names for the deck passes. There are only 3 coaches per team, so make it easier on you and on me. Don't ask for more. Okay. Now, the procedure will be that after all entries are in and verified, I will email them back to you. I will email back to you as a team entry report. You are to then verify that all of the entries are correct, that you got the right kids in the right place, the right times, and just go through it really closely and make sure that everything is correct, and email me back stating that it is correct. Okay. If there are something that's incorrect, something wrong, something went across, heaven forbid you sent me the wrong file, something got corrupted, anything. There's 100 different little things that could go wrong. Please contact me immediately, and we will work through the changes and make sure that corrections, not changes, corrections. We will correct anything that is incorrect because of the programming or whatever the case may be. Once I've received an email back from all of you and all corrections have been made, then I will send out a site sheet to everybody. Once that site sheet goes out, nothing changes. That's where it is. We have to make sure that when you send me back the verification, that the entries are correct, that they truly are. Don't all of a sudden say, oh, wait, because I didn't really pay attention and look at it. Please make sure you go through those, because that's when we get a lot of heartburn. Until then, those changes can take place. Sometimes there's mistakes that we make in doing all the entries and putting things across. But we try to take our time making sure that they're done. I will not send the site sheet out until every single coach has sent me verification. So when coaches start calling me saying, where's the sheet, where's the heat sheet, where's the site sheet, it's because I'm waiting on 1 or 2. If they're all back and they're back quickly, that goes back out very fast. And so most of this can be done very quickly, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time. And we've streamlined it in a lot of ways, but those are the things that I would want to make sure we went over with as far as the new goes. Now, the rest of this Zoom meeting, I'm going to stop this recording, and we can continue on, but and not as a presentation. I did this because I don't have the ability to do this from where I'm holding the Zoom meeting. So, all right.